Everyone, I'd like to welcome you guys back to the Mama Vegas Show. If you are new to the Mama Vegas Show, welcome in. Today, I have very special guests with me, a few members from the Engineer Society Project, Chris Keys and Timothy. Please welcome in, guys. I'm excited to have you in.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm super excited to talk with you guys about your recent European tour and discuss your upcoming Love Conquers All documentary. If you guys wouldn't mind, I'll start with you, Chris. If you can tell our audience a little bit about yourself, Chris Keys, for the listeners who may not know about you, and then Timothy as well, after Chris.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Chris Keys. I'm the singer for Engineering Society Projects. I really got lucky. I went and I saw an ad that said there was a band that Tim Ripper Owens from Judas Priest sang for, and that they wanted a new singer. And I went out to Texas. I auditioned. I got lucky. I got the part. And right now, getting in the band, we've been doing really exciting things. We went to Europe. We've been playing a bunch of shows, and really right now we're at the stage where we're really starting to put stuff together, really get a bird's eye view of how we want to approach the rock and roll industry. We have booking agents. We have people that are sort of as we go into the studio, we're going in the studio to record some brand new music. As we go into the studio, we have people that are surrounding us that are really looking to make, Engineering Society Projects a big thing for the future. So that's me, and I'm the singer. I'm the singer of the band, and real grateful to be the singer.
That's exciting, Chris. I've had a chance to listen in, and I'm excited to share your music and those links then, so our listeners who may not have had a chance to listen to you guys and see you in action can get that opportunity. And Tim, could you introduce yourself to our listening audience and tell us a bit about you and your role in the Engineer Society Project band?
Well, I guess I'm the founder of the band, and we after we did a record with Tim and his other tour commitments, we felt like we needed somebody really strong to replace Tim. And so we were very fortunate to get Chris. He was the perfect fit for what we were doing, and he meshes very well with what we are and what we do and what we're about. So we put Chris in the band and played a couple of shows in Hollywood, and then headed off and went to Europe for that tour, and everything was very nice. It went very well. Band's been well received everywhere we go. So we're just in the process of trying to, get our name out, get on social media and make things kind of grow for us there. Chris had mentioned we're going to the studio on Valentine's Day, actually. So we are very excited about that. And we're adding some new music that we really think is going to grab some attention in the industry.
Yeah. Make your impact in the industry, your powerhouse impact. I love it. I've had like I said, a chance to watch some of your guys' clips of your performances, and I had inboxed Chris, and I was like, I'm super impressed. I love the sound. I feel like it's a little bit of everything in there, and and the way you guys incorporate the sound is awesome. What inspired the title Love Conquers All for your upcoming U.S. documentary, Chris or Timothy?
The inspiration for saying the word love for me is represented by something I just went through. One of the last places we played was back where I come from. And I came from a place of really where that was a stupid thing to say. I came from a place of just really tough guys and, trying to be a tough guy or trying to, represent something that wasn't that. And I thought that love was uncool. And I think the more we see what's happening to our world, I think the more people that get up and say that with strength, and that's why I say I stand for peace. I've made a stand. And I think that's important for people that are strong enough to stand up and say, and regardless, when you say love, it crosses over everything, and the need for human values and human love on this earth is just so important that just saying the word love is important. And I think including that as much. And I tell you, man, I come from a place where feelings and emotions were hidden. I didn't even cry at my mother's funeral.
Yeah.
And my family thought that was so cool, hiding emotions and not saying it. But enough people are getting up and starting wars and saying hate very loudly that the more people that get up and just say the word, and trust me, sometimes I go against myself because I sometimes, feel, hokey or whatever. I don't like the hokey sense of it. I want everybody to know I stand for love. I stand for peace in a very strong way. I make a stand with it, and I make a stand that's one of the components that are needed in our world right now. The lines that are being divided will cause us to kill each other, will cause us to hurt each other. And if we don't break down those lines, love, the great people of our times have stood up and said it. Martin Luther King, John Lennon, Lenny Kravitz, the people that said it in their presentation are sometimes the important people in our world. The people that said, look it, man, there has to be love involved in some here. There has to be love and compassion and empathy involved in the way we deal with each other on this earth. Or you see what's happening right now with the world. We will destroy each other.
Yeah. And I truly believe that music reaches people on a different level, on so many levels. And like you said, being able to deliver that message of peace and love in your music, it speaks volumes to do that, because you can choose any message and you choose that message to deliver. And that is powerful. Tim, can you share some moments from your most recent tour that are most memorable to you?
Yeah, I think touring Poland was a place, I'd never been to Poland, didn't know what to expect. It was a Monday night, and we come out and it's a sold out full of people, just the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. Some spoke English, and they were very receptive. And just to kind of add to what Chris is saying, what we're doing with Engineered Society Project is we're marketing and selling an experience. When you come to see this band, you're going to come see an exciting rock metal act with a positive message, and you're going to have a good time. And so we offer that as a way to come in and see us for that hour and a half, and put the world behind you and have a great time. And we're going to give you some really good, solid music and great singing. Chris is an incredible singer, and we all sing with him. It's just an experience. The tour in Poland was definitely one of the biggest surprises on the tour. And it's just because we just didn't know what to expect. And there were others. And I will say, in New Haven, I don't know, where was it, last week we were there, Chris? I don't remember. But New Haven, Connecticut was just incredible. The people were so receptive. And of course, they all just loved Chris because Chris had played there for a long time. And it was kind of like a homecoming for Chris. And we were just blown away. The band, we just kind of sat back and watched it go down. It was really great. We had a wonderful time with some wonderful people there.
And do you guys feel like, or Tim, do you feel like the band has just come to where it needs to be, having Chris, like this was kind of what may have been missing prior to, maybe not being able to fill that gap? Were you unsure that you'd be able to fill that gap when you needed the new lead singer? And did Chris kind of just melt right into where he needed to?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't, we pretty much knew that we had some big shoes to fill. We had done the Digital Soldiers record with Tim Ripper, and what an amazing guy, amazing singer. But I always say the Lord works in strange ways, and brought Chris, and it's just been very good.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Chris, I'll ask you both, but I'll start with Chris. How does the band approach documenting your journey through the documentary, and what can fans expect from the behind the scene looks of this tour?
Well, we have a friend named Jeff Jones actually in Los Angeles. And when he saw the documentary, he thought that Europe needed to see what we were like in America, because basically America got to get a glimpse of what our situation was when we traveled overseas. And it's sort of like when you're in Europe, they basically go, wow, you're playing the Whiskey a Go-Go, because they've never been here. They get a bird's eye view to what we're doing here. And we really want to show what the experience is like for us to do our shows here, to get together with our, our new booking agents and our new people, and how we're going to set things up. And then, going in the studio, getting a behind the scenes and in front of the scenes look at what we're doing in America. So initially, it was initiated by Jeff Jones, who's a movie producer, and he basically said, yo, give these European people a look at what you do in America. And really, I think at this stage of the game, we want to let people into our world. We invite people to come in and go on the ride with us. And I always think that's cool. When I see a band, I want to, see how it's done, see what goes into it. It's always interesting. I was just watching Paul McCartney in a little documentary that he did with Rick Rubin, and they're doing it and they're talking about it. And I thought it's so interesting. This music that I have a relationship with, what went into it? What were the components that made it up? So really, that's really what a documentary is. It's letting the people that are interested in you behind the closed door and saying, this is what we do to get this done.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you have anything to add to the rockumentary experience, Tim?
No, I mean, this is kind of somewhat new to me. We did part of that when we were in Europe. And I think the key is that we just try to capture as much as possible when we're going and doing. And sometimes what we may think is the most ridiculous thing may be something that someone's interested in. And we deliver all of the material, and there's a lot of people involved that work really hard. And somehow they piece it all together and come up with a story. And I always look forward to seeing what they come up with. Kind of sometimes a little worried and sometimes a little
because it's raw. It's the raw moments, those documentaries. And I know that we can expect to probably get to know each of you a little more in depth than we probably can see in the music. And how do you guys take in the fans? And when you were overseas in Europe, how did those fans react to you guys with the filming of the documentary and talking and promoting over there?
The fans were beautiful. And really, I mean, doing a rockumentary over here, we're going to show Europe that the fans here are beautiful. And what's been revealed to us is, we're playing all different types of places. We're playing for different crowds. We're playing for different styles of music. And we really are starting to get the sense that we really have stumbled upon a style that really has a real place and has a real place in people's hearts. And that's what we're just getting feedback from people. So it's really fortunate. And I have done many styles of music, and I personally feel like this style of music represents my abilities or my presentation the best. And I've done a bunch of different styles, and this is the style that represents me, Wes, and that's feedback. We like Tim was saying, we just played a place where I grew up, and that was feedback I got from people that I grew up with all the way from age 9. I saw people, and they're basically telling me, this is, unfortunately, some of them are saying, this is what you should have been doing. And because I've literally traveled all over the world. I had a band in India, and literally I've traveled all over the world, but I am a wild artist. And really, sometimes my artistic openness, I did a lot of different things, and not like it wasn't good, but this really gets to the heart of the matter. This for me personally allows me to come out and really just write my poetry and then open my heart and give it to people. So it's a fortunate situation for me. And that's really, I think, how you relate to people. That's, anybody that I've ever related to is telling me the truth. Whatever their truth is, they're getting on a stage or they're getting in a recording studio and they're going, here I am in this human experience. This is the truth. And you know it. I mean, literally, the truth from the false. When it's coming from a homogenized or just someone's trying to do something that's not them. So this really is a very pure way for me to open my heart and give it to people.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. How do you see the role of music, particularly in rock, conveying a message of love and unity in today's society?
Yeah, I mean, that's the real thing that I fight. I even fight myself sometimes because the corniest thing, and this is going to be really, I mean, I actually just watched the Blues Brothers movie. I don't know if you've seen the Blues Brothers movie, but
Yeah.
I actually, when I was 14 years old, I wrote this corny song called I'm on a Mission from God. And it was like a rap song. It was like, I'm on a mission from God. And it was, to me, in retrospect, it was like when I first started writing rap, and it was sort of, in some ways, it sounds corny, but I would appreciate if what I do in my life has an effect, leaves an effect, and just isn't a surface thing. I would prefer that. I'm an entertainer. I've been entertaining since I was 5. I stepped on stage when I was 5 as a tap dancing singer. So entertaining, I find very enjoyable. But if I can have that entertainment to have some ability to cause some change in the world for good, it's just the icing on the cake. And on this album, the album that we have out right now is called My TV. And along with wanting to write good music, it's like I do want to bring consciousness. I want to bring consciousness about the marketing and promotions on TV. I want to bring it like I talk about the standing for peace or standing for something. I want to have these things in, but I don't want to push it on people. I want to have it be something, because we all know this. We all know that when you're watching TV and the little girl comes out and she's dancing and it says Saprixa and it doesn't even say what it does, we know that someone is trying to get our money and they don't care about our health. And things like that in our society need to be pointed out, because if no one points it out, then it will just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's where nobody said love and everybody said hate. And that's the world you have.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you share a particular song, or do you have a particular song, either of you, off of your record, that you hope resonates with listeners the most? And if so, could you play a clip for us as well?
In the middle of my heartache, I find my pen. Searching for the truth, I write it down. I'm trying to find the words to get it out to you. Words that reveal my inner light. That's a song called Tell 'Em All. And that's really what I'm about. I rewrote the song, the vocals to it 100 times, because I'm trying to find the words that relate how I feel, the words that relate my desire in the world, that resonates with people the same way my favorite artist resonated with me, and basically through all genres of music. Here it is in your face. God damn, this is a dope jam. Well, let me define the term called dope. If you think it means funky, now no. When Public Enemy came out, they were making a stand. And the only reason I think about that is because I was just in a place where I was in one of the first rap rock bands in the world. And it was called Blind Justice. It turned into a band called Gargantua Soul. And it was very motivated by music that was standing up, that was saying, hey, wait a second, there's some problems here that we need to see, that we need to look at. And even if you go back to the 60s, you see For Dead in Ohio. It's basically people that are through great music, gotta get down to it. Changes are coming unstung. How can you run when you know? It's basically those types of influence through music, those people that moved me. I want to move people through my music. So you're asking for a song. I would say Tell 'Em All off our new EP is basically what we're doing. We're saying tell them all. Tell your mother, tell your father, tell the politicians, tell everybody. Tell them all about what we're talking about.
Tell them all. I like that. I'm going to have to definitely go and download, tell them all. Are there any specific locations or venues in the U.S. that you're particularly excited about including in your documentary? I know we spoke about your hometown that you grew up in, but are there any particular cities or location venues that you're excited about?
Well, it's really the reason I reached out to you. We really would like to get to Vegas. I just talked to a band called Smashing Alice, and I also have my guitar player. I was in a band called Disco Tangerine and Dive Bomber. I actually lived in Las Vegas at one point, and they're trying to set up a show at a place called Vamped for us in
Okay.
Vegas. I would love to come out your way. And the thing is,
Yeah.
right now, our documentary is very open. We're not putting any clauses on it. Actually, we're turning it over to Jeff Jones and what he wants to do. And what he wants to do is just get 2024 is the year of the ESP rockumentary. It's basically documenting what happens, what's going down. And I'd love to get, some footage in your neck of the woods at Vamped and show the
Yeah.
continued saga of Engineered Society projects.
Absolutely. I would love to be a part of that show and to have you guys live in studio when you come here. I would love to have that. So
Have you come down to the show and promote it and try to get something really going on in Vegas.
absolutely. Absolutely. We definitely need to get that going. How can our listeners follow, listen, get more information about you guys and your music and venues and upcoming shows? I know you guys are all over. I was looking at your website. So what's next for you guys?
We want to build up basically a spider web on social media. Right now, we're active on Twitter. We're active on TikTok. We're active on Instagram. And I don't know if this is fortunate or unfortunate. One of the central places that we sort of have our brain child from is Facebook. And we have come across that some people aren't on Facebook. So you can get in touch with us on Instagram. It's engineered_society_projects. That's our Instagram. TikTok, we have the same thing. And Twitter, I'm Christopher John Keys on Twitter, but we also have an Engineered Society Project Twitter. And if you are on Facebook, we have Engineered Society Project Street Team. It's a place, and this is what we're trying to do, just create a dialogue with people, a daily dialogue. We want to have, just like with our documentary, we want to keep people actively involved in us going in the studio. We want them to, through social media, we want them to be able to come with us into these experiences we're having and be a part of it. Literally, if you want to be a part of the experience of us recording, of us setting music videos up, of us, what we do, Engineered Society Project Street Team is our Facebook. And like you went on, engineeredsocietyproject.com is our website. You can actually get right to any social media that you need from our website. So we're inviting everybody to join in and be a part of the process that we're going through.
Yeah. And I just have a quick question for you guys. What is the possibility the documentary takes off and well, we know it's going to take off, but when it takes off, what is the possibility of a reality show following you guys around? Have you guys thought about that? Is that something that's brewing in the making?
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds fun. And it seems like something that, that definitely, I'm just talking with you guys. I'm like, I'd watch you guys on MTV or, I watch MVH1 or on your own network, just to follow and to just the story and the message that you guys are getting out there and all the experience that you guys have. Like, I think that would be amazing, to see you guys in reality TV.
Well, what it makes me think of is the two gentlemen that aren't here. Engineered Society Project is JoJo Brown on guitar. It is Shaka Sean Salinas on drums. And he's actually from there. He played with Cirque du Soleil in Las Vegas. It's Timothy Moss on bass. and Chris Keys on vocals. But what your reality show made me think of is that our guitar player is this very humble, he's this humble, well-spoken, educated man. And when you talk to him in person, he is very quiet, gentle. He gets on stage and he's just freaking a madman. He basically lets go. He's a serious showman. It's like his alter ego. He is Jojo Brown, and we call him Vetis, Vetis, because he transforms into a different person. So that would be, just from that angle, that would be. I was very interested to talk to Jojo and sit there, and we'd be like, he's Southern, so. And I may be starting to become Southern too, because when you're around people who talk with that Southern dialect, it actually starts to affect you. But I'll get around Joe and he'll be like, yes. And it's so funny. He's got no ego about it either. He's got someone in his position, from my experience, someone in his position usually gets a really big ego about it. Because they've worked so hard on their craft and they've polished it, but he doesn't have any ego. And he's very easy to get along when he's like, yes, how you doing? Quiet, well-spoken. Then our intro starts and I meet another person on stage. And I do think that reality show worthy. I think that's something that people, and we're letting people into this kind of stuff. And it's actually the kind of stuff that I'm interested in with my heroes like Paul McCartney or Styx, or bands that interest me of what's going on behind the scenes. Now, this is another thing. No one's perfect, man. We're never claiming to be perfect. So if an argument or something comes up, everybody knows that's real life. And if you, I really hate to show that stuff and I prefer not to show it, but everybody out there has to know that we're going through our own, that's another thing behind the scenes. How we're making this happen, how we're funding it, how we're, making things happen. We're letting people have a bird's eye view of that and know that it's not easy. We're trying to work it out. We're trying to put it together like any other business or any other thing. We have problems. So letting people know that too is just saying, hey, man, we're trying to do this. We're trying to get up on a stage and do our thing for you. And you can see how we put it together.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any messages before we get out of here, Chris and Timothy, any messages for our listeners and fans out there that to take away from our interview here and something to look forward to coming soon?
I do. One of the key things that the music business is about today is social media.
Yeah.
And many times, long before they listen to what you write, record, put out, they can judge you by the number of followers. And we've been talking with social media consultants the last few weeks. And so one of the messages is follow us.
Yeah.
Come to the platforms and follow us and be a part of what we're doing. And of course, in return for that, we're working on improving our content and bringing in a third party company to help with that. So, yeah, you know how it is. It's just the way it's called. And it was a lot more important than I realized. We were in the airport leaving New Haven last week, and I came across a guy, and I'm not going to name names because I'm not a name dropper, but he's a social media guy for a very big band that tours the world. And I had a conversation with him in the airport. And we were talking about how so important that is now. So the message that we want to get out is, hey, come to our platforms, check us out, listen to our songs, and join what we're doing, because without the fans and the people, there's not a lot we can do.
Yeah. Chris, did you have a message to leave with our listeners as well, or did Timothy pretty much cover that?
We see an engineered society. That's our perception. And this was the coming together of this band. Is basically we have a similar eyesight. We see things that are engineered. We see things that are not really in congruent with that's the wrong word, but not really coinciding with human values, with, supportive. So along with an energetic, fun, over the top show that we want to like work on, and we want to work on this great music, we want to be part of a one world family. We want to take away the barriers that stand between us. And if music can do that, and I truly believe it can, I think it has in the past, I think it is now. We want to be part of that movement. We want to be part of a movement where music actually means something. It's not just, like I said, that one song, Tell 'Em All, it took me 30 times to rewrite it, to really looking for the words, looking for the strength. I wrote it down. I'm trying to find the way to get it out to you. I'm trying to speak the truth to you. And I'm looking straight in the camera and I'm talking to you people. I'm trying to find, in my short lifetime, I'm trying to find a way to reach to you. And like my brother said, the only way we can do it is if you come. So engineeredsocietyproject.com. Engineered Society Project Street Team on Facebook. Engineered_society_project, both on TikTok and Instagram. These are the ways you make it available that I can speak to you. So Mama Vegas is going to show you some of our stuff out in Vegas, and we want to come out to you, Vegas. We want to come out there and we want to rock your socks off, and we want to reach out to the world. We are a world's traveling band. We've been to Europe. We've come back here. And this rock. And another thing is for Americans, we saw a little bit of interaction with people overseas. We want America to represent with us, man. Come together. And because we're headed back at some point, probably to either Europe or any other parts of the world. So the new rockumentary is to show that America is unified too, that America wants to get together through music and make a one world family that stands for peace and that stands up and that makes a vibration that emanates that type of feeling, that emanates. And it does happen in a great rock show. It's like people come together and it's like, yeah. And you stand up and when it's really good and you just feel that, man, we're all here together. And like I said, the greats throughout history, all we are saying, give peace a chance. I can name so many different people who just stood up in the middle of the storm and said, I stand for peace, man. They said it in their own way. And that's what we're doing. We're finding our way to stand for something where music can be a revolution again. And basically, it's the truth. People have said it over and over again, but music is a revolution. These four men that are getting together, we're trying to create, as we head into the studio, I really got excited the other night. I was watching this documentary with Rick Rubin and Paul McCartney, and I heard Band on the Run. Band on the Run was a song by Paul McCartney. And I was thinking of people I wanted to meet in the industry. I'd like to meet Billy Joel. I would like to meet Paul McCartney, but not really, because their music talks to me. When the first lines of the song came on, it resonated with me. That's how Paul McCartney talks to me. I don't even have to meet Paul McCartney. He talks through his music. So literally, I am talking, and once again, I'm saying this out. I'm not saying this to Mama Vegas. I'm saying this to you people. We are talking through our music to you. We are telling you to come to the Engineered Society Project. We want you to be part of our vibe. We want you to be part of something that changes the world, that basically causes a better vibration than hate and war through music. Tell them all, my brothers and sisters.
Yes. Get the message out there. And I would like to thank you both, Timothy Moss and Chris Keys from the Engineer Society Project, for coming on to the Mama Vegas show, sharing your music journey, sharing your passion, your message, for continuing to keep the music alive and that love conquers all through music, and just bringing that message back and resonating with our listeners and with the world. I'm excited for you guys when you come out to Vegas to connect and to experience the Engineer Society project. I'm excited for it. Don't forget, listeners, to subscribe, to follow, go to their platforms, Facebook, TikTok. They're on everything. I'll be tagging them as well in the reels with those links. So please follow. Until next time, my listeners, continue to live with passion and purpose. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.